How many pillows do you sleep with at night?
One.
Just one?
Just one. Maybe zero.
0 pillows?
Maybe. Two.
2?
2 head, arms, knees, one under the feet.
I'm gonna go with 1. 2 seems extravagant, okay? I feel like 1's a good answer.
This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto on this Digital Sportscentre presented by TELUS. And with rumors flying around at an alarming rate, there's only one place for us to start today. And that's with Lillard Watch. That's right, it's back. Now the Raps have always been mentioned when it came to Lillard, especially as of late. But when Mark J. Spears of ESPN said this last night, Raptors Twitter was all kinds of fired up.
The hottest name that I'm hearing right now is of interest is the Toronto Raptors, actually. Talked to 2 really high-ranking team executives today, and they said that Toronto's a front runner, and they wouldn't be surprised if he ended up in the 6.
Now don't get our hopes up like that, man, okay? I want to know for sure. It's a bold proclamation, and he wasn't the only one talking about Lillard to the Raps. Our own Josh Lundberg penned an article last night, and his main takeaway was that the Raptors' interest in Lillard was real but a bit overstated. Well, Josh speculated in his article that a trade package for Lillard would look like OG Anunoby, Gary Trent Jr., rookie Grady Dick, salary filler, and multiple first-round picks.
What?
Reminder that the Raps' first-round pick for next season is currently owed to the Spurs unless it falls outside of the top 6. Now, Josh will join us next segment to dive deeper into these rumors. Now, given all the recent Raptors Lillard buzz, we reached out to our friends at FanDuel, and they've got odds on what Lillard's next team will be. With the Heat still leading the way as heavy favorites, with the Raps and Blazers both behind them at plus 360. It's very exciting to think about Lillard coming to the Raps, but when you think about all the things that the Raptors would currently lose, it tempers the excitement just a little bit. Like, we just got Dick, and we were excited about him. Now joined by Josh Lundberg to talk more about these rumors. Great to see you, Josh.
Hey, Marissa.
In your article, you said the Raptors' interest in Lillard was real but overstated. Just how realistic is a Lillard to Toronto trade?
Well, Portland's desperate to get something done ahead of training camp, and they could use any leverage they can get right now. That's something that's been pointed out to me by a few people recently. And listen, the Raptors are an easy team to connect to Lillard. They're generally in the mix whenever a star becomes available, and everybody knows they took a chance on another player who wasn't exactly clamoring to come to Toronto in Kawhi. I do know the Raptors like Lillard, and I do know the Raptors are interested. To what degree? That still remains to be seen.
Going back to your recent article again, you said a trade package would look something like OG, Gary Trent Jr., Grady Dick, cap filler, and multiple firsts. If this or something similar was the offer, would that be the best offer on the table for Portland, and is that enough to get a deal done?
Well, it's so hard to say because we don't know how many teams are legitimately interested. I do think that's better than Miami's best offer, but I'll say this, I'm not even sure the Raptors would do that deal with Anunoby, Trent, and Grady Dick. Maybe 2 of the 3, but it also depends on the draft compensation that Portland is asking for. Listen, Lillard is a great player and he would solve a lot of Toronto's long-standing offensive issues, but he's not without his risks. For one, he's owed north of $60 million in his age 36 season. So for the Raptors to really, truly consider this, I think that risk will need to be baked into the price like it was when they traded for Kawhi.
Josh Lundberg, a pleasure as always.
Thanks, Marissa.
And to read Josh's article on the Raptors Lillard rumors, just click the link below. All right, the NHL preseason is officially underway, so it's the perfect time to bring back big picture puck. Look at the size of that puck. It's a big one. And today we're looking at the playoffs. Because every year there's a decent amount of turnover with who's in and who's out. Over the last 8 seasons, minus the COVID year, there's about a 4-team turnover as for new teams making it into the playoffs. Last season, the Kraken made it for the first time ever, while the Devils, Islanders, and Jets all got back into the playoffs. So who's dropping out this year and which new ones are coming in? Let's start with the East and then we'll do the West tomorrow. Coincidentally, the 4 teams that just missed the wildcard spots were the Pens, Sabres, Sens, and Red Wings. Pittsburgh and Buffalo were literally 1 point away from making it in over Florida last year. And we all saw what Florida did once they got in. And there's a lot of optimism to believe that Pittsburgh and Buffalo will get in this time around. For the Pens, Kyle Dubas has transformed this team, with the most notable addition being reigning Norris Trophy winner Erik Karlsson. That move is Dubas doing everything he can to maximize the Crosby Cup window, which is wide open because Sid is still one of the best in the game. For the Sabres, they're in the exact opposite spot, as they hope their cup window is just opening thanks to an incredible influx of youth. There are so many young stars on this roster, with many more in the pipeline. And this is the first full season for Devin Levi in net. Now it's dangerous to get hyped for the Sabres because they've let us down so many times. But this feels like the year to finally end that playoff drought. For Ottawa and Detroit, they're in similar spots. They both haven't been to the playoffs in over 5 years. and they both have a good mix of high-end, young, and veteran talent. Led by the core of Brady Tkachuk, Tim Stützle, Josh Norris, Thomas Chabot, and Jake Sanderson, the Sens are dangerous. Add in Claude Giroux and Vladimir Tarasenko, and you're looking at one of the best top sixes in hockey. Detroit, on the other hand, has remade their back end, and with 2 new additions of their own in the top 6, they may finally have this team ready for the postseason. I would love for Ottawa fans to just get in there, you know? They've been struggling for a minute. They deserve this one. To the NFL, and there's some odd fallout coming from Sunday's Pats-Jets game. And that's because Sauce Gardner posted this video to Twitter, saying he's posting this so he doesn't get fined. It's a video of an incident from himself and Mac Jones. And after that game, Sauce said that Mac hit him in the private parts. And that is why Sauce kind of retaliated and shoved him. And then Diana Rossini posted a better look, showing that Mac clearly hit Sauce below the belt. Listen, I would be upset. If it were me, I would be upset. I feel like that's not fair. That's not right. We shouldn't be doing those things, right? Now, Tom Pelissero tweeted this morning that Mac won't be suspended for the incident, but a fine could still be in play. Now, joined by our gambling guy, Wes Chang. It's been a minute, Wes. Great to see ya.
Great to see you, Marissa.
Okay, we got a pair of games tonight in the WNBA Playoffs. As the Sun take on the Liberty and the Aces host the Wings. What's your best bet for tonight?
FanDuel has Kelsey Plum's point prop set at 18.5. I think it's a really good spot to take the over. She scored 25 points in game 1. In the past 2 seasons, she's cleared 20-plus points in 6 of her last 7 games against Dallas. She's scored 3-plus three-pointers in all of those games. The Wings are the 3rd worst defense in the WNBA at defending the 3-point line. And with Asia Wilson carving them up in the paint, I think there are going to be more opportunities on the perimeter for Plum to score. Over 2.5 3-pointers or over 18.5 points. I like both of those props going into game 2.
Wes Chang, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And just a reminder, you can watch game 2 between the Wings and Aces tonight on TSN. Coverage begins at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. That's all for today. We'll see you right back at tomorrow, 3 Eastern, no Pacific. Have a good one.